Well, hello people, welcome to the next Senpai. Join us as we embark on an exciting journey through the fantasy world, where we witness the incredible power and strength of our protagonist, who finds himself transported to a whole new world and enrolls in a magic school. They will be powerful main characters that will shake the world with his unbeatable powers, and prove his worth as the most powerful student in the school, or will he succumb to the jealousy and schemes of his rivals? Keep good records. Remember, this anime list is the latest update in 2023, which is still fresh out of the oven for anime lovers in every universe. Keeping watching this video and stay awesome. Let's go! I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world. Yuya Tenjo has been a poor boy where he has received harsh bullying since childhood. While on this extended time of absence from school, he takes the opportunity to clean his grandfather's house and goes to a room he never went to before. He accidentally opens a forbidden door that connects to another world where vicious monsters are rampant. As a person who visited another world for the first time, the main character, who acquired cheap class abilities, subjugated monsters one after another, repeatedly leveled up and was reborn as a perfect boy with the strongest physical ability, which able to go back between two worlds and playing on with the right momentum. The most shocking revelation is that he can bring whatever he wants back returns to Earth, and inevitably he must fix this mess with great power and comes great responsibility. The Aristocrats' otherworldly adventure, serving gods who go too far. A Japanese teenager is killed while saving his younger sister's friend from an attack by stranger, only to find himself reincarnated into an alternative world of swords and magic. It was a dream come true. He is reborn with a new identity as Cain von Silford, the third son of an aristocrat, by the intervention of the seven gods residing there. Being granted the protection of the gods on his 5th birthday turns out to be too much of a good thing for Cain. Every one of the gifts he had gained were beyond expectations. His stats and boosts are so powerful where he descends appointed as their apostle. So that's why he must hide his real abilities to climb the ranks of society. The magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and the genius young lady. Anisphia, princess of the kingdom of Paletia, has a very high enthusiasm for development and experimentation for anything about magic. She had memories of her previous life and was obsessed with flying in the sky with magic, even though the whole kingdom people who consider underestimating her ambition. However, the main character cannot use magic for some reason, so she spent all her life in dubious research as a magical science while being nicknamed Princess Peculiar. Despite all these limitations, she never stopped pursuing her passion, and her determination in magic gave her the best personal course of action during combat. Following a magical mistake, she stumbled across a scene where her brother Algerd was breaking off his engagement to his fiancée, Euphilia. With Euphilia stripped of her position as the kingdom's next queen, Anisphia offers for Euphilia to come to live and explore magic together, as they prepare a means to restore her good name. The Ice Blade Sorcerer shall rule the world. During his last terrible war, the legendary Ice Blade Sorcerer named Ray White suffered overheat and a loss of control of his emotion after who had lost loved ones as part of his family. The lapse of time passed. Ray White decided to enroll in Arnold Academy of Magical Arts. Living next door to society, Ray hides his true identity as that of the famed Ice Blade Sorcerer, who is one of 7 strongest sorcerers in the world. Despite his legendary status, he became the first commoner to attend the prestigious academy, and was immediately met with contempt from some of the students hailing from the nobility. Ray's compassionate and generous attitude allows him to establish friends with some of his most influential classmates. Because of his cheerful and outgoing personality, he can easily converse with others, even strangers or someone with superior authority. Unfortunately, when individuals with nefarious intentions begin to move, Ray may soon be forced to unleash his ultimate power to protect the relationships that make his new existence valuable, a race against time to stop enemies from achieving their ultimate goal. Reborn to master the blade, from Hero King to extraordinary squire. The Hero King Inglis, who dedicated his entire life to building his country, Silvare Kingdom, is now approaching deathbed in his frail old age. To award him for his honorable achievements to have truly served people well as Divine Knight, the goddess Alicia appears and grants him one wish. He devoted his whole life to mastering the blade. Inglis asks to be reincarnated in order to do so. Reborn is an adorable girl and apparently was given the same name. Inglis finds himself born in the far future as a daughter of the Yukis noble family. In fact, people of this era have left behind their knowledge and sense to magic, but depending on runes. In all this, English was the opposite, with incapable of utilizing the runes, that she still have goddess blessing for powerful magic user. Pretends to be weak and hides her true power. She is therefore ineligible to become a knight, but this fits in well with Inglis' big plan. Have not interest in becoming a hero again, she instead decides about lending hand to someone with those qualities that deserve to be called a hero. This is great opportunity to test her current skill in Second Life. Looking for a formidable opponent makes it worth fighting and possibly become an extraordinary squire in the process. The reincarnation of the strongest exorcist in another world. The strongest exorcist in his world, where he is betrayed by his friends on the verge of death, so that's why he desires for happiness in his next life to avoid repeating the same mistake. In his last breath, he then attempts a secret reincarnation spell, and swear to dedication that all his efforts will prove useful in his next life. He is soon reborn in another world, with new identity as Seika Lamprogue, a prestigious family of magicians, but he is considered to be magically incompetent. Finally, Seika declares that he doesn't need learn magic and stay struggle with his old technique, because he has the wisdom of magic of when he was an exorcist talent, as well as abundant magical powers. Seika has devised a very mature master plan in his new world, proven by attending Aoife, an enslaved person from Lamprogue, to join him at the Magic Academy of Rodnia. He is also interested in Amu, a magic swordsman, the strongest apprentice, when she first appeared against terror from the lesser demon army. Seika hopes to give birth to a new generation to become the strongest instead of him, as they can become reliable heroes in the future. Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun Season 3. Suzuki Iruma has been sold to a demon by his neglectful parents and transported to the demon world. Surprisingly, Lord Sullivan enrolls him in Babel's demon school, where he tries not to stand out, but as he keeping progresses up under the abnormal class, to keeps everyone getting attention. In the third season, to meet the requirement, the entire class must be promoted to Dalit rank before entering the second year, to stay in the Royal One and prepare for another opportunity in the school's harvest and music festival. Each of them is assigned to a particular group of staff from Babel's that will help nurture their abilities to do so, hoping to give the misfit class a chance to achieve their goals. With each of them being strenuously able to grow their powers, and the festival the perfect time to show their newfound and improved abilities, even should everyone survive and gather to catch the maximum points as possible. Beyond expectation, Iruma, Suzuki and Shaq's lead decide to take strides toward ranking up and look for the legendary leaf worth maximum points in this challenge and becoming the champion. The Misfit of Demon King Academy Season 2. One of the season's major themes is whether or not Anos will be able to reclaim his title as the Demon King and the obstacles that stand in his way. Anos, who has prevented the war between demons and humans, is confronted by a new child of God who destroys the Demon King of Tyranny. The Misfit, who defies all forms of unreasonableness, enters a new battle after being reincarnated in this peaceful age, making a different purpose of taking it easy. Anos and the first-year students have made their way for the next lesson will be a field trip to a Hardern. Amid their travels, they comes across a young informant, Lena, who is also helping their way to visit the spirit King Kastel. He then reveals her true nature, the Great Spirit, based on the rumors of the fictional Demon King of Tyranny, Avos Delhevia, as Amisa's spirit side. They unravel the mystery and travel back 2,000 years ago to discover the secret of Misa's birth, the truth behind the death of the Great Spirit Leno, and what Anos saw in the cruel world after his own death. The Fruit of Evolution Season 2. Really a lot of things happened from the first season. Seichi is a former victim of bullying at his school whose life has changed drastically and becoming champion after being transferred to another world and eating the fruit of evolution. In the second season, Seichi and his parties continues adventure to the Barbador Magic Academy, one of the rare metropolitan universities where gathering in aristocratic children from various countries. Seichi gets the task of being a class teacher of F class, which contains the student There are problem children at the Barbador Academy. live up to around expectation, awaken the latent potential within them because they are often underestimated by other classmates. After Seichi start digging more deep, where shows evidence that they can't generate magic power, because of sealed by something still mysterious ways. In the other hand, you will see the dark side of the Kai's Empire's warrior, which will be connected to his classmates on Earth, who is also transferred in another world. The most anticipated scene is Seichi's battle with the new antagonist character named Destra, one of the strongest demon sects, as well as a worshipper of the god of death, which became a sign of terrible premonition for Seichi in the beginning. The Eminence in Shadow. Modern-day boy Japan dreams to be a visionary who obsessed with wields power from the shadows, but while stuck in practicing, he gets crushed by a car and killed by accident. He is reborn in a fantasy world as Sid Kageno, where he maintains a perfectly weak appearance as to not stand out in society, and pursue his dream of manipulating from the shadows. Sid makes up a story explaining this world is secretly run by the cult of Diablos and his secret organization called Shadow Garden. However, the stories Sid made up were actually true, but he believes it to be total delusion. Despite his reliance on chance, improvisation, and physical skill, Sid has demonstrated that he is intelligent and cunning, reassuring words, and has the resourcefulness to achieve some of his initial goals, before to and after building Shadow Garden, where the group of powerful girls extremely loyal to the master. He also developed as mob character to hide his true ability, condense and ultimately compress his tremendous magical power, which allows him to evade attention in Midgar Royal Spellsword Academy, seeming as mediocre as possible. For instance, his participation in the God of War Festival tournament under the fake identity as Mundane Man was solely to fulfill his specific fantasy of being a mysterious fighter who was at first laughed at for being supposedly weak, but ultimately shocks everyone with his true strength.